Ended up leaving a shipper that held me up for 5 hours, and Turquoise backed me up on this episode of
The Clutch Trucker Channel.
Clutch Trucker, filmed before a live and furry studio audience. That is Rusty, the world-famous meatball dog. Hey YouTube, Clutch Trucker here. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Clutch Trucker Channel. Well, yeah, my last video, I made it up to that what was the Tennessean truck stop after midnight there, Monday night, Tuesday morning. Then Tuesday morning, drove up to Florence, Kentucky, to the TA there. I knew I had to get there by the middle of the day if I was going to get a place to park, because I knew I wanted to fuel there that night. I'm up against my 70, so I have to keep waiting till midnight for hours to come back, so I have enough hours to continue my run. So I had this load going up to Depew, New York, so which is the Buffalo area. So filled up there at 1:30 in the morning in Florence, Kentucky. The other TA that was just down the road from that one, the TA in Walton, Kentucky, this is just south of Cincinnati, both of these. They tore down last year and were supposedly going to redo it, and of course there's nothing happening there. So there's even one less truck stop in an area where there's already no place to park. But anyway, so that's why, you know, a lot of times it's just easier to drive overnight, because then by the time you get parked, you know, in the middle of the day, there's places to park. What do you think? And I wanted to top off the fuel there because, of course, it was much cheaper there. I think I paid $4.80 a gallon, which is the cheapest I've paid in like a couple of weeks. I knew up here in New York State where I am now, $6.20 a gallon. Hello! Well, my delivery went pretty good in the Buffalo area, Depew, New York. It was paper from that paper mill to International Paper, where I had to get changed just to get loaded. Then went over to my next pickup, and they were scheduled really close together because my delivery was at 10 a.m. They got me done in just about an hour. I got out of there by 11:15 Eastern time. My next pickup was at noon, an hour away. So, well, I got there at 12:10, checked into the guard shack, then backed into a spot, and then went inside, checked in the office at 12:15. Then I waited and waited and waited. They're supposed to call me and tell me when they had a door. After like 3 hours, I contacted Turquoise and the broker and said, look, I've been here over 3 hours. Nothing's happening. After I think it was about 4.5 hours, I talked to Bo at Turquoise again, and he said, I said, look, I just am ready to leave here. I've been up since, you know, just after midnight, and this is ridiculous. And he said, yeah, it is ridiculous. And this is where he always backs me up. This is why I like Turquoise so much. Bo used to drive. He's my dispatcher. He used to drive, so he knows what it's like out here. And so he's like, oh, those stinking mother bitches, you know. He's hilarious. Anyway, he said, yeah, no, we're done with that. We're done with that. You just go. You just leave. So I did. And we even got a TONU, which is truck order not used, for those of you who don't know, for $150. You know, that doesn't make up for losing this load, but we hit the point where, you know, it delivers tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock in Wisconsin. A full day's drive. We hit the point where I wasn't going to be able to make it legally if I had to wait any longer. I mean, we passed that point. So they just told me to leave, and they said, well, we'll find something else. So I had to find a truck stop. So here I am at this Love's, brand new Love's, off of exit. I think it's exit. This is where New York State is backwards, like New Jersey and Connecticut from the rest of the country, where everybody else does exits by mile markers. No, not here. They start from New York City and the I-90, so 61 is the last exit. It has nothing to do with a mile marker. That's annoying. Come on, get on the board with the rest of the country, Northeast. Anyway, so it's damn near the Pennsylvania line. This is Ripley Township, brand new Love's. Apparently it's been open 2 months, so there was plenty of parking when I got here. I desperately wanted a shower. I was able to get in and get a shower. That's why the shirt color's changed again. My hair's kind of fluffy. Dumped my toilet, my cassette toilet, in the shower room. You know, and for those of you curious, yeah, that's been very easy. It wheels in like a suitcase. You just dump it in the toilet, bring it back, stick it back in the truck, put the little chemicals in there. It's good to go. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boop. And yes, I'm loving having that toilet in the truck. And no, I haven't had to use it for the number 2 for the big business. Just been using it for the number 1. But it's nice to know it's there if you wake up at 3 a.m. and your stomach's going, hello! So anyway, yeah, left the shipper, and when I left the guard shack, they said, "So, are you loaded?" I said, "No, I've been here over 5 hours. I tried to get loaded." And then, the guard guy says, "Oh, okay." And I said, "All right, so has this been happening a lot here?" And he said, "Recently, yes." So in other words, what happened is they used me being 10 minutes late as their excuse, because they're obviously having issues and they're not being able to get people loaded on time. And so, of course, they were able to say, "Well, you were 10 minutes late," and that's what they kept telling the broker. So now you're a work-in. Well, now I'm going to miss my delivery appointment, so I don't care. It doesn't matter. We've got to get rid of this load. But nobody there seemed surprised when I told them that I'm leaving, because they couldn't load me in time. Most places will give you at least a half hour, if not an hour. 10 minutes? Come on. So they were just using it as an excuse, because they couldn't keep up with all the trucks. There were 5 other trucks at least next to me waiting to get loaded, and they'd been there since before I was. So if I'd been on time 10 minutes earlier, it wouldn't have made a damn bit of difference. This is just another thing they do in the trucking industry, and shippers and receivers play that little game. "Well, you're late." So, who always loses? The driver. So I told Turquoise, "Look, I'm going to go get parked. I want to shower. I want to, be a little refreshed. I'm going to wind down, and I'll get a good night's sleep, and see what you can find for me in the morning." Now, the load I was going to pick up in Illinois after I delivered in Wisconsin tomorrow, I was going to pick up a load on Friday in Illinois. I don't know what's going to happen with that. If they can get me something else to get near that, maybe I can still keep that load, because it was a good paying load. This one that I'm losing wasn't all that great a paying load. At least it was with a better broker, Echo Global, who at least, like I say, gave me that toning over 150. And we had this kind of discussion before. And yes, Turquoise takes part of that tonu, where a lot of people say, "Well, that should be all to the driver." Well, but they already did their part. They booked it. They're losing money too. So they still get their 15% of that. I don't have a problem with that. Now, if there's ever a fuel surcharge, I get 100% of that, because that's me. I'm the one paying the fuel. But I do agree that they should get part of the tonu, so I don't have a problem with that. Because, for one thing, Turquoise is really good about getting those, where most companies you drive for don't. Because they don't care. Because it's you. They don't care if you're going to sit there for hours. Like those mega carriers and all that. Oh, and speaking of mega carriers and the speed limiters, I'm going to make a whole video all about the proposed speed limiters for trucks, and tell you why on so many levels that is so wrong. I've got a whole video coming up all about that, so stay tuned here to the Turquoise Trucker channel. So we'll just see what happens tomorrow morning. As for now, I let Rusty out here. There's not even grass growing yet at this Love's, because it's so new. There's just dirt, but he had a good time tromping all around out there, and I got my shower. I feel a lot better. I feel like now I'm not ready to kill people, where earlier I kind of was. So there you go. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get something and we'll get rolling again. Oh, and I've been meaning to mention Gina, I think was her name. I hope that's your name, Gina. Met her at the Sapp Brothers in Cheyenne when I was heading back out after running through the house there. Because I got it last Friday, I got to go home and have dinner with the family. And as I was going in to do my drop trailer sheet for Sapp Brothers, they let me drop my trailer there as long as I fill out the sheet and say when I'm picking it up and all that. Then I was out of my truck, and this gray Kenworth pulls up, or silver Kenworth, and she says, "Hey, aren't you Clutch Trucker?" I said, yeah, I am. And talked to her briefly, and I'm almost positive her name was Gina. I hope that's it. It was nice to meet you, and I wish I could have spent more time with you, but I had to run home and have dinner with the family. But nice to meet you. So she says she watches the videos and appreciate that, so wanted to give you a shout out. Also, Junior had sent me something and sent it to the house. Junior, has been, if you've been watching my videos, he keeps sending me stuff. He sent Rusty tons of begging strips. But, I'd mentioned, I guess, in one of my videos how my Atlas was at least a couple of years old. Well, guess what he sends me? The 2022 Motor Carrier Road Atlas. So Junior wanted to thank you for that. He also sent me this, which is really cool. It's the ultimate truck parking guide, 11th edition. Yeah, park my rig, baby, park my rig. So this lists literally every place you could park, and a lot of them aren't even truck stops. So if I'm in some place where I'm not as familiar with, which still happens sometimes, I can look it up by interstate and find places like, even they list Walmarts you can park at. McDonald's maybe that says 8+ parking. It says park in abandoned Bonanza lot, no signs, free Wi-Fi. So this is cool. So this is just another tool to help me in my planning. So Junior, thank you for both of those. Really appreciate it. All right, thanks for tuning in for that one. Just a little short one. Had to bitch a little bit about getting hung up there for 5 hours, but like I say, Turquoise backs me up. That's why I love these guys. That's why I have no reason to go work for anybody else. As an owner-operator, they back you up. I tell you, can't do much better. I've been with them, 5 years now, and can't complain. Right, Rusty? Yeah. Alrighty, he knows he's getting that bacon strip here real soon. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please subscribe. Please like and comment. I get to your comments as soon as I can. Sometimes takes a couple days because I'm a working truck driver. Don't forget to ring the bell for notification. There's Clutch Trucker on Instagram, Clutch Trucker on Twitter. And as always, sniff that magic YouTube fairy dust. Clutch and Rusty, out. I've been thinking about this, Mr. Hand. If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time? So what's wrong with a little feast on our time? All right, here it is, Rusty. Where's it gonna go? Whoa, over there. There you go. Over there on the Clutch Trucker couch in front of the fridge. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Happy dog. All right, one more little one. Here you go. There you go. Oh, yeah. Rusty and his bacon strip bounty. Right, Rusty? Look up here. Hey, Rusty.